Okay, so today I'm going to be demonstrating the deadlift. The deadlift is one that you will hear me talk about that I really want perfect form. It's a really good lift, but it also, you can easily injure your lower back if you're not doing it properly. So as a trainer, I would prefer to be in the room with you critiquing your form, but since I can't, I'm going to do a video on all the steps that you need to think about when doing the deadlift. And I don't want you to be afraid. Anybody at any stage of their exercise level, beginner, intermediate, advanced, can use the deadlift. It's a compound movement. It works many muscle groups. It works your glutes, your hamstrings, your lats, builds shoulders. So it's actually one of my favorite lifts next to the squat. So really quickly, accessories. I do lift heavy, so I do use a weight belt. It helps me keep everything nice and tight because, as I always preach, it's about breathing and tight core. That's number one. Number two is I wear these really ugly Chucks that I grew up watching my dad wear all the time. I wear these for a reason, not because they're super glamorous in my gym. It's because they're flat. And so if you do not have a flat lifting shoe, then get into your socks. You don't want to be in a runner. You don't want anything that elevates your heel off the ground. You want a nice flat surface. So that's number one. And like I said, if you feel like you're going to get heavier, you can get one of these. Starting off and you're lifting light, you don't really need to worry about this. Okay, so now let me give you some tips. I want you to watch closely and think about this movement. I'm going to start with light weights. That's what I want for all my clients as you're beginning to master the deadlift and the correct movement. So you're going to start with light weights. The second thing when you are starting out is I want you to think about your breath. That's the first setup of this lift, is sucking in your stomach. Core is always tight. And then you want to roll your shoulders back, keep them squeezing the lats together and down, which automatically causes my chest to come up. When you talk about breath or taking a breath, you're going to take in a breath, you're going to hold it during the entire movement, and as you come up, you release. That's the three setups that you're going to do before you start this movement. So again, your shoes, or your feet, I should say, about hip width apart. Your weight is balanced in the middle of your feet. Shoulders are rolled back, lats are squeezing together and down. Nice big breath in, and then it's a hinge at the hips. Keeping the weight nice and close to your body. Hinging at the hips. One thing I like to do too is make sure that my neck and my spine are in line. So I actually will trace my eyes as I move down. So I look down at the floor, back is nice and flat, a slight bend in the knee, and come up. One thing I see with many women in the gym is this overextension. So they think if they overextend, they're gonna hit those glutes even harder. That is gonna cause problems. It is a nice movement, stopping at the top. Keeping the weights nice and close. Also, one that I see is common, weights way too far out, shoulders slumped. Okay, this has to be flat, lats squeezed, weights closer, pull up. Again, in my feet, I'm pushing through the floor. Pushing through the floor. Finally, you only want to go as low. Some of you might be able to go this low, some it might be right here. That is okay. You want to feel the activation in your glutes, and you want to pull up with your chest and powering with your glutes. Okay, so that's the first beginning stage of the deadlift.